Many games can easily be thrown into a genre. Pokken, now that's a fighting game if I've ever seen one. And Splatoon, while being super creative, at its core is a third person, or squid, shooter. So what about Battle Chef Brigade? People keep asking me what this game is, and my answer generally ends up with me rattling off a bunch of genres. Kinda like this. It's a cooking puzzle game with 2D platforming, beat 'em up style combat, RPG elements, and a decent story. The saying goes that too many cooks spoil the broth, and that's exactly what my initial fear was with Battle Chef Brigade. Fortunately, this broth's ingredients blend like cheese and Vegemite, and the game ended up being equal parts unique as it was enjoyable. Your culinary adventure starts with a retelling of how the Battle Chef Brigade came to be. This brigade's purpose is to fight the monsters that threaten the land and turn them into delectable dishes. To become a member though, you must first win a tournament, held yearly to discover the best of the best battle chefs. You play the role of Mina, a young girl who dreams of becoming part of the Battle Chef Brigade. Following Mina's path to escape her small town life and join the brigade was a real delight. The colourful cast of characters and the highs and lows of Mina's tale kept me interested for almost all of the 6 chapters. One chapter later on did drag slightly thanks to some questionable character motivations. However, this chapter breaks the pace up with a new protagonist for you to play as, helping ease my story gripes. Breaking up the pace is one of Battle Chef Brigade's strongest dishes. Every time I thought, here comes the gameplay loop, a new mechanic was added, or the story was turned on its head. The gameplay starts off as a simple match 3 puzzle game, with a twist. To add new colours to your fry pan, you must exit the kitchen and enter the field. There you would defeat monsters in 2D beat 'em up style combat, collect whatever remains they leave behind, and return the ingredients to the fry pan. It's a strategic and satisfying loop that never becomes repetitive thanks to the additional puzzle elements slowly added, as well as the use of new pots and pans and other RPG-like items. You will buy these items at the shop, with money earned from other tasks like completing puzzles or hunting challenges. This equipment becomes key in customizing your playstyle and will affect things like combat by giving you a double jump, or cooking by giving you extra fire gems. There is no punishment for failing these battles, so customizing between failures is very helpful once you know what to expect from a cook-off. You will have the choice of easy or hard right from the get-go, and I would strongly recommend easy. My first playthrough wasn't easy, and I still failed some of the later matches multiple times. From the images on screen, I'm sure you can tell if you enjoy the hand-drawn art direction or not, but I have to say, I loved it. Every dish that I was served up was as much a mouthful for my eyes as it was for the judges eating it, and the characters came to life with the expression they were able to pull off. With an art style so alluring and a cast of characters so likeable, I hardly needed the gameplay to drag me through this 15-hour adventure. Also worth mentioning is the story never felt forced. It was sprinkled in small doses to never overwhelm or bore the player. Once you're done with the story, or just looking for more to do, you can try some of the challenge modes and attempt to climb the leaderboards. Break the Dishes is reminiscent of Super Smash Bros. Break the Targets, and Restaurant Rush will test your speed at matching patterns. There is also a daily cook-off to test your cooking might online and increase your culinary level. I love it when developers aren't afraid to throw genres and styles into a blender to find something unique. I love it even more when it doesn't turn out like baby food, but a 5-course meal that takes me on a journey. And that's what Battle Chef Brigade did. It took me on a charming adventure. Sure, the 5th chapter had a slightly sour taste to it, but the rest of the game's level of enjoyment was hitting boiling point. The mix of RPG puzzle game with beat 'em up style combat was something I truly enjoyed. However, the real icing on this cake was the story, which was full of charm and likeable characters. And like a good feast, Battle Chef Brigade left me feeling satisfied and jolly by the time I was done with it.
Nina Han, you rogue. Now I'm gonna be an accomplice.
I knew I could count on you. This money is just enough to apply and a bit extra. Think you could help a neighbor out and spot me some flour?
I don't like this. But how can I refuse my favorite neighbor?